and the golden voice of Neal Ruhl. Sit back and relax. It's time for your daily dose of Big D energy.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Big D Energy.
Big D!
Right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neal Ruhl, that guy, D-Mac, Darren, McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Rockstar, all here with you, locked, loaded, ready to go. Now, the Wednesday shows typically, D-Mac, are your bridge, right? Get you to the weekend. And
Hump day.
In the summer in July, the Wednesday show can be a bit sticky. Now, we've made it to NFL training camp. It's here, so that's certainly not the case. But, D-Mac, there's a ton to get to today, man.
There's actually a lot to get to. I think you nailed it, yes, on yesterday's show. If you go back anywhere that you catch Woodward Sports in the rewind, leave a what, Spenny?
5-star.
5-star review wherever you go. Tell everybody how much Sam Flannel is out to lunch. Whatever it is. But, yes, you said it yesterday, Neal, and you're right. We're in it. We're in it right now, and you know, there's other things obviously going on. We could touch on some of the things of the Tigers. Actually, I saw a bright spot for the Tigers, even though they lost and stuff like this. But we're for the end of July. Let's just say it's heating up. Especially here
It is heating up, and obviously the baseball trade deadline is starting to maneuver. Was that Edwin Jackson? Was that Eduardo Rodriguez's last start as a Tiger?
Maybe.
We don't know.
Hopefully,
I suspect it was. But we'll find out.
You got to hope. Obviously, we know that he's got a player option, which means that you need something to get in return. So, because he'll definitely be out and pitched well enough. Hopefully, we can get something in return.
How about it yesterday too? Because the Wi-Fi was out, the StatCast was out, the broadcast was out. That's a big brain play by Scott Harris because he knew Eduardo Rodriguez was not at the top of his game. So the pitch cast was out. And the stands were full of scouts. Mm-hmm. It was the biggest scout contingent of the season at Comerica Park. Scouts from the other teams. Trade deadline's coming up. That's big brain by my boy Scott Harris.
Conspiracy theory? You're calling that above the rim thinking right there?
If it was, props to you, Mr.
My
Scott
favorite
Harris.
part yesterday, and I apologize who tweeted it out, but following the game on Twitter, and one of the somebody watching the game showed the score sheet, said, I know you didn't see it, but here's Jake Rogers' home run, and used the old paper scorecard to show it going out to left field. So it looked like it went into the bullpen. I didn't see it, but it looked like it from the old school 1950s review.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Jump into there. Subscribe to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. You can get in there. Get your thoughts out there. Detroit Dabber 313 first in with the big what up, though. Zachary Jones with the what up, Neal. What up, Zachary? Good to see you. El Gato with the yo-yo. I like the yo-yos. I do. Speaking of the community, I love these, by the way. And I've never said this before, but if you guys do this in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread, like DNCENT, had Erod 5+ Ks, he shit the bed. If you're angry about a sports bet, you put it in there, that goes right to the top.
Absolutely.
Oh, I'm always gonna read those all the time. So that and Bozo, those are the two. If you want to get in there, that's how you do it. Steve Reinhardt with the morning gentleman. Good morning. Broder says Scott Harris is playing chess. Spenny, he was.
He was.
That's big brain stuff, man.
Al Vila would have never
I like
done
how
that.
we're giving him credit. Because if that happened under Al's watch, there's no credit.
No.
It would have been Al's fault that everything.
Absolutely.
It would have been Al's fault that. But hey, speaking about community, and this is going to be kind of out of left field for the three of you. I told you about this a few days ago. Something I've had enough of in the community. We're going to get into the line stuff. Hold your water, everybody. We're going to get into the line stuff. Something that has been brewing with me personally: the Ring doorbell. Okay, a lot of people out there have it. I have it. It was more for kind of my wife's peace of mind and stuff like that than me. But I do kind of like it when I'm out of town. I like to see what the weather's like because I'm becoming an old man right in front of your eyes.
That's fair.
But with all that being said, the Ring doorbell. So you have the little Ring doorbell service that you're linked up to, part of this Ring neighborhood dealio. It's essentially something where people can jump on there and say, hey, this is going on. Part of a community,
okay.
Spenmo, if you will.
Right.
That's how it works. When did we cross the bridge on the Ring doorbell stuff to where everything's like Alert, alert, my cat is lost. Alert, my dog is lost. This is for important stuff.
Hey.
Not for your cat being lost,
But that's
your
part of
dog
the
being
neighborhood.
lost. No.
Yeah.
No,
That's
because it's
important.
got that, when your phone goes off with it, it's got that ominous, like, and you're like, oh my God, like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And then, my cat is lost. You know what?
Keep your eyes peeled.
Keep your
It's
eyes
a neighborhood.
peeled. You don't
so
send
you
that
guys don't
across
do
the
that
ring
up there
alert.
inside,
No, you don't
up
send
on
the
the
fact that your
hill?
cat is lost across the ring alert.
Listen.
Neighborhood watch for your cat.
My cat
no.
got out, and we had a neighborhood thing. I would put it on there.
Yeah, me too.
No.
I don't- Yeah, maybe turn off your notifications.
And I knew this was going to happen. Real cream of wheat. I'm more concerned as to why we have a monthly subscription just to see what happened. I don't know. It's for the video's sake and all that kind of whatever it is, the $10 a month. Pete Smith, no lie, we got an alert for a person going around and encouraging people to vote on election day. That's what I'm talking about.
Hey,
Like we've crossed the bridge
How
on
about
the ring
this?
alert.
Broder, our very own Broder, says ring doorbell saved my dog when she was lost for 48 hours. Real talk. So you don't want somebody to, save somebody's dog or cat. You don't have one, so you don't know. That's
so
the
I
whole-
don't know.
Think about
Enlighten
it
me,
as your golf. What
D-Mac.
if you left your golf clubs? Right?
What
if you left your golf
shout
club
out,
like it was
shout
your-
out, shout out PXG just down the road over here in Troy. My guy Marcus got me squared away. I love him.
Those are my
I do. I
guys.
love him. I love it over there.
You're
But if I
welcome.
lost my PXGs, I would not put it on the ring alert. Last seen on Maple Road, my PXG golf clubs, and have everybody have to take time out of their day like it's something serious.
Okay, well, PXG, I treat mine a little bit better than Neal does his. I'd put out an APB if I could. I will inform every law enforcement because that's how good those clubs are.
Casey, reflects the views of Casey, watcher and viewer of Big D Energy, and in no way reflects the thoughts, the testimonials, or anything affiliated with Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter. I want to give that disclaimer before I read this one. That's what happens when you give women access to the internet and smartphone. Everything turns insane and vapid. I do not endorse that comment. Those were Casey's comments, not mine. I don't value that. I'm not. In the future, I won't read them. That one slipped through the cracks, and I won't do it again.
Everybody says all fun and games until that second furnace is gone.
Pete Smith, second
That's true.
furnace missing, last seen at the pool house. Now that would be different.
Yeah.
Spimo, am I out of line here?
Yeah. I think so.
Wait, let's go to Mr. Sensitive himself, Sam.
Am I out of line here?
100% you're out of line.
Yeah. I mean, okay, Flannel. Let me defend myself here. So here's the deal. These alerts that you get from the ring community have fallen into two categories. And I've seen this a couple times where intoxicated man walks on my porch at like 2:30. Mm-hmm. Now that's viable. Or kids. Here's video of kids walking by knocking mailboxes off. Is it the biggest crime against humanity? No. However, it should be dealt with by the proper channels. That I encourage. That is something where a community can help out. Your cat is not an emergency to everyone, especially to the point where it causes that ominous tone where you're just like, is this it?
Yeah.
Is this the day it's over?
I don't have a Ring doorbell, so I don't know the struggle of that, but I do know that I would want people to be alert if my dog was missing in the neighborhood.
How about this? How about you get a poster and a picture and put it up on the telephone pole like everybody else?
Because it goes right to your phone. How
about
often do
that?
you look at a telephone pole nowadays?
How about that? In your neighborhood, on a tree, lost cat.
I mean, I would post it on like the Facebook group of the community, like the city Facebook group, but I think you're a little out of bounds here. You just don't know. You don't know how it feels.
You don't know how it feels.
Little Tom Petty out there.
Yeah.
Broder, it was unreal. It pointed me in the right direction a few miles from my house. Then my ex kidnapped her. Broder, you need a Ring doorbell in your life. If your ex is kidnapping your animals and stuff like that, Broder, your needs are deeper than a Ring alert. Okay?
That's true.
Law enforcement, lawyers,
Yeah.
court-appointed, zone protections, things like that,
Pepper
Broder.
spray.
That might be more in your lane.
Is it bad that... I mean, it's not bad at all. I hate that woman right now because Broder is one of the nicest guys that I know, and just hearing that just makes me... What evil woman could do that to Matt freaking Broder? I mean,
true.
do we all agree he's one of the nicest, most positive people here? It's
Yes.
funny what people go through.
Custody battles, boys.
Yeah.
It's part of life.
Danny Raxter, does Neal have a dog or a cat?
No,
I do not.
No,
However, update on
he doesn't
that.
have a dog in the fight.
Update on that, D-Mac.
Oh?
This weekend.
Oh?
Wait, what?
This weekend, coming up on Sunday, the missus is putting us in a position to become a cat-owning family.
Nice, congratulations.
I am against this 1,000%.
Don't have to
Till you're
call
sleeping
me.
with it every night. Till it's laid on your
Yeah.
No.
lap while
Till,
you're drinking your
Never.
bourbon.
Never.
Till this cat likes bourbon.
Yeah.
Right? There's Neal.
Never.
There's Neal.
There's
Hey,
nothing
can you
this cat
see?
can do.
Hey, the Get Right special, Saturday night.
Yeah.
There's Neal with his bourbon, and he's got his little kitty beside him with his little bourbon ball right there.
Christopher
see
Carby,
it already.
I haven't noticed you here in the Big D Energy chat thread. Welcome, number one. Number two, his post, time to steal Neal's pets. Christopher, if we end up with this cat, please do. You will not get a ring alert from me. I'll say, damn, the cat's gone. Well, see you later.
No, just wait. Just wait, Neal.
That's the ultimate well, see you later
Hey,
to the cat.
I'll be sitting there, I'll be
So
like,
have you thought of names yet? Are you going to name
please
it?
be quiet. I will. That'll be me, right? I'll be like, cat's gone, huh? Well, see you later.
He's never shushed me in 10 years. So bad.
Darren, you're my friend, and for over a decade, you're my friend. You're an accomplished professional athlete, regardless of what Sam Flannel says.
Thank you.
I enjoy your character even more than your athletic accomplishments and what you are as a person. However, please be quiet.
Yes, sir.
Please be quiet.
I respect that.
I want you to treat me as Steve Eiserman for this one thing.
Neal, I'm
All right,
telling
when
you.
it comes to Neal's cats, I got to give him the Stevie treatment. Good luck, because you know what? You've already lost it all.
Yeah, 100%. It's over. I know that going in, man. It's over.
D-Mac hit it on the nose, man. You're saying this now, but when you're watching that Mountain West game at 1 o'clock, drinking your bourbon, and that cat walks up to you.
He needs
No.
like a pick six or something. Like,
Yeah.
it's going right down. The cat walks in the room and something great happens. It's a great. We're gonna hear about it.
Oh, yeah.
See, that's the best part about Neal, is if it does happen, or maybe it's Jinxie. Oh,
there we
Jinxie the
go.
cat.
Jinxie
Could
cat.
you imagine? That's even better. Root for radio. If the cat jinxes your get rights, because it walks in the
See,
room.
now this is what I'm talking about. Michael Brevport, ring alert. I live in North Carolina now and have had alerts twice for black bears in a residential area. Yet that's what it's for. I get that. That's the point. We get them from time to time about coyotes and
so
stuff like that.
Bigger.
No,
bigger
like a
furry
wild black
animals
bear,
are
yes.
okay.
Get an alert for that. Not
Black
because
bears
your
won't
stupid
do
cat is
anything.
missing.
Not
Black bears won't
domesticated.
do anything. They're soft.
All you gotta do is stand up to them.
Yeah,
They're
you
a
just
lot
gotta
like
walk
England.
up on them. They'll run away.
Black bears are the England of
Yes,
wild animals.
yes, for
just
sure.
stand up to them.
Yes. Black bears won't do anything.
Yeah, black bear alert.
They'll
Yes,
just mess up
on
your
board.
garbage.
Coyotes, yes.
Coyotes are stupid.
On board. Your cat is missing? No. I do like this, though. Jay Cruisin, 71, and Jack Harrington said we should name the cat Doja Cat. And I like that.
There you go.
I like that.
See what? Oh, you are acting like Steve Eisman right now. Like, I mean, don't talk to me about it, and then somebody go, "Oh yeah, but okay." We're gonna sort of maybe the Ring app should put, like, you know how when you open an app and it says only allow while using the app or
Yes.
use it all the time. Maybe you can opt out of any of the neighborhood if it's a domesticated animal.
No,
missing.
see, that's the rub, though. Like, you're either in or you're out.
Well, no, maybe that they should
And
advance
I don't wanna
for an
be in
extra,
for everybody's
you'd pay an
bullshit.
extra $5 a month not to get
Not
those
to-
little
to
shit.
get out of
right?
that
See,
part,
there's-
yeah.
Right? They're setting you up for another $5 or $10.
And then RJ Graham, get ready for all the cat hair. Exactly. And who's going to have to deal with? Here's my problem with it. It isn't even the cat per se, although it is the cat. Because if there was no cat, there would be no problems. And you talk about the cat hair, RJ Graham. That's exactly what I'm talking about. I have no interest in it. Plus, who's going to be changing this cat litter shit on Sundays? Who?
You make
Who?
your son do it.
Hey,
Who's gonna be changing it?
You know what? You might have lost the dishes battle, but you can win the cat litter war.
That's
Start
true.
at the beginning.
Yeah.
Get a mother young. Right at the beginning, get the kids. That's how it is. You got to stand. You lost the dishes, right? Say, has anything changed?
Yeah, they're getting better. There's progress.
So there's progress.
There's
so
progress.
start them out and give them the old Neal Ruhl speech about, I see the progress, what you're doing. Now here's the ultimate test. Tag team the cat litter. So I never have to deal with it. There's ways out of it. You
Yeah.
can do it.
Ryan says, Darren McCarty, more than just a champion. He is, as a matter of fact. He is, but he does have to be quiet about the cat thing. You can win all the rings you want.
She gets
it's
a
not
dog
happening.
anyways.
Sorry, Steve.
Hey, we got to take a break. When we do, Lions talk. We're picking it up when we got back. I have some college football in the mix. Tigers trade deadline talk. If we have time, I want to get to D-Mac and the Red Wings. Tell me what prospects are going to be here. We may even have to table that till tomorrow. We'll see. But, hey, in the meantime, if you need a haircut, what's the story?
Yeah, but also, how would you like to win not one, but two? Yes, 2 vehicles of your choice, one for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. All you have to do is get to a Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy Les Stanford Buick, GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Since the dawn of moving people, Chevrolet has led the way. The world of transportation is changing. At Feldman Chevrolet, we are leading the charge forward. With every electric vehicle, every mile traveled, one Feldman at a time. The company that puts more Chevys on Michigan roads is now the #1 name for Chevy electric vehicles.
Gabby is a college student struggling to study for her big exam. Then she discovered Syntron, a healthy way for her to stay awake and focus. Jennifer frequently has chaotic days like this until she gets online, orders some Syntron, and finds her groove. April visited her local grocery store, purchased a case of Syntron, and entered to win the Syntron 100K Vegas giveaway. Pick up your case of Syntron today at any Meijer location or visit drinksyntron.com/Vegas and enter for the 100K Vegas giveaway.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer. Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit. We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
We are off and running here. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter. No pets, all of you. Happy to have you with us on the Woodward Sports Network. Subscribe to the Big D Energy podcast, iTunes, Spotify, Spreaker, whatever it may be. But DNC ENT, cats are the spawn of Satan. I agree.
No, cats are cool, man.
No.
Are you? Yeah, I was wondering. Are you getting the cat because instead of a dog, in honor of brand of cats?
Ooh,
The
Probably.
cat spot?
Yeah.
That's what it is, right?
I'm only going to get a cat that's trained as a lawyer, though,
that's true.
Nice.
so it can litigate.
That's fair.
Nice.
So it can litigate.
Litigating the litter. I like it. Litigating in the litter.
Steve Wild, Neal is the type of guy that would walk around that would walk his cat. I would not.
I would.
Nothing wrong with that. Yeah.
I'm not contributing.
Get him a little harness, or you can just turn him to an outside cat. My friends have outside cats.
I told you up there in northern Macomb County, every now and then, off in the distance, you can hear the coyotes. Maybe I'll do that.
Oh my god, that's fucked up.
What? You said to make
a flag on that.
Yeah,
one. I got
flag
throw a
on
flag.
it.
You can't. You gotta wait.
Can't use
you
him as
gotta wait. You gotta
coyote
give
fodder.
some horror stories of the cat before you start going there. Could be the best cat ever.
Well, I won't know when the coyotes are there because I'm ignoring the Ring app now because I don't want to hear about people. Hey, sorry, man.
We do need a station cat, Cody Engel. That'd be dope. The little guy walked. Well, we can't because Lady Jane's, but he can be in our heart.
Tim K. Neal's going to name his cat Michigan and tell his kids that it's never going to win anything and it's a very fine local cat. It's a regional cat.
You're going to name your cat Bo?
Yeah. No, Chicago Dental School.
Yeah.
Chicago Dental School. All right, Lion stuff out there. Spenmo, you said you had some sound from Dan Campbell, and I do want to play this because I've got two schools of thought, and now I want to discuss with all of you here in the studio and around if I'm wrong. My first thought is wrong. Let's run the sound. I'm not going to tell you what it is. Just tell me your first reaction to it. Dan Campbell, everybody.
Okay, there's a lot of competition. And Malcolm as well. Yeah, Malcolm as well. I wasn't trying to leave him out for sure. Malcolm, I'm only bringing that up because he really didn't go through spring with us. But, I mean, he's back. He's healthy. He's getting his reps. And I've said this before. I mean, the nature of that room and the competition that's in there and knowing the players, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if Rodriguez is starting game 1. That wouldn't shock me. It wouldn't shock me if Barnes.
And that was Dan Campbell talking about Malcolm Rodriguez, the whole Jack Campbell saga, everything like that. And Spenmo, I'll go to you first. You got the sound clipped up and everything like that. Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? Can Campbell and Rodrigo be out there at the same time? Because obviously, you're looking at Campbell by trade as the weak side, i.e. the short side of the field. Malcolm on the other side, is he capable of doing that? Can you set your friendship aside?
Yeah.
Is he capable?
I think they are. I think they're very capable of playing next to each other. And, they're both fast. They can both cover a lot of ground sideline to sideline. And for me, it's not a bad thing. Like, the guy got the starting role last year out of camp. He won it, and he kept it, and he played great. Like, so you're gonna have to take it away from him because he was the starter last year all year, so he's gonna be the starter on paper. So it's nothing bad for me that he's projected to be the starter, or he wouldn't be surprised if he was the starter because he showed us last year that he's very, very, very capable of doing that and of playing that position. And I can very well see both of them starting. Like I said, they can both cover a lot of ground. They can both do things that'll complement each other's game very well. So it's nothing to be concerned of in my mind.
Okay, here's the deal, D-Mac. Like, for me, with Jack Campbell out there, Alex Anzalone and Malcolm Rodriguez, if that's the core, because it was a concern, right? Like, let's just put all the cards on the table. The way they addressed the secondary in free agency, after they did that, what then became the weakest unit for the Lions defense on paper?
Linebacker.
And is that fair?
Yes.
That's fair?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
yes.
we're all being fair here. All right? So when you talk about the windows open, I'm gonna open up this discussion of a different tone. When you say the window's open, you're the betting favorite to win the division, this team has to win a playoff game or it's kind of a bust. Can that linebacking core be a good enough linebacking core for you to win a division and win a playoff game?
I believe so. And why do I believe so? Because I trust in Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell, and that's how they've addressed it. I think that and get me if I'm wrong, Neal, but knowing you, is that when Dan Campbell talks about Rodrigo and wouldn't surprise him being the starter, you look at that, well, what do you mean? Jack Campbell's our first rounder. He's supposed to come in here and be the savior in that. Instead of looking at it like, this is Malcolm Rodriguez, right? So he's built a little different. I compare him to more of a Zach Thomas. Like a guy, like his motor's always going to run. So what the thing is, he's not going to stop. He's like Chris Draper. He's just always going to go and get better and improve the workload. We've seen that with the way that he is, and he's going to drag guys with him. Now, Anzalone's also been there. Now, are they going to be good enough? Like, that's the position group on defense to me that has to bend but not break. Right, so however they do it, I don't know the schemes well enough. We were talking before the show about weak side, strong side to whatever, and having the speed to do it. But the competition to get better in that room, I think they'll all push each other to be the best that they can be. Now they have to be the best. Now the first thing is obviously being healthy. It's great to hear Dan Campbell say Malcolm's healthy because I think he's just going to be better. You got to see what he did last year as a rookie and the growing pains that he has. So hopefully he can also progress, but also give Jack Campbell the cheat sheet and what he's going to come up against. And that way it's about both of them reaching their potential. And then that question will be answered for you in the linebacking. But it's not now. And it's a question mark. If you're going to question mark something, we were talking yesterday, just, Amar St. Brown, we don't question that. Right? Where right now is that's the questioning part, right? Even with CJ Gardner-Johnson.
And it's fair.
down.
It's fair.
And we're gonna. That's what training camp's for.
Right.
Right. That's what's training. So we, as we always say, we won't see.
We're gonna see. Super Saiyan Lion says, "Dude made all rookie team, and people act like he's just okay." And this is where I'm opening up to the discussion right now. Now, Spenmo, for me to say that's the area that has the most question marks, which we all agree is a very fair statement. It's just that position, man. I know that we got caught up in the secondary and additions to the secondary. We still don't talk about it. They don't make a ton of money. They're not the focal point anymore of salary negotiations or building a team or anything like that. But make no mistake, man, that linebacker, the core, all of them, every linebacker on that field is brutally important. Brutally, because who covers the running backs?
Yeah, linebackers. They look at the tight ends. They're the second line of defense in the running game.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel as though, and this isn't meant to be negative, because I'm on board. We're all on board.
Yeah.
The world's on board. 8% of every dollar bet on teams to win the Super Bowl at MGM's on the Lions. So it's safe to say the world is on board. That is the area of question. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I see it on paper, I'm like, because what are you counting on? You know what, I like to say this when we talk about the Tigers. We're counting on a rookie parlay.
You know what the thing is too, right? The spotlight's been taken off the secondary. So now we're just going to put it. We don't put it on there anymore, right? Last year, after what Hutchinson's done and the evolution of Houston, seeing healthy Pascal and Bugs and all the Lee McNeil, like, we're pretty confident. Okay, see what they're doing defensive line. We know the progress they've made. Secondary with the changes they made. That was where the big spotlight. This is the. Tell me if I'm right or I'm not. It's the same sort of position we were in last year, but now adding Jack Campbell's supposed to be better. But it was always skeptical last year. It's just that we had worse points we had to pay attention to, right? So now that we're not paying attention to the secondary as much, we're waiting to see what the defensive line does. It's all on the linebackers on defense. Yeah. And that's fair, Neal. It's supposed to be. If you're not seeing it, wouldn't you be a little bit like, it makes me more stoked than it does scared that I see flaws, because you're supposed to have them and you're going to see, can we work them out? And then will these questions be answered? That's why we're in training camp.
Right, and this is going on in every training camp across the NFL right now. Even the Kansas City Chiefs. I have questions about the Chiefs, Sam Flannel. You're a simp for Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. You have to have questions. What they lost on the offense, you have to have questions.
I mean, a couple of position groups, but I think the Kansas City Chiefs right now have proven that they are the Monstars, they are the top dog, and they can withstand anything. Just going by last year, losing Tyreek Hill was supposed to be a detriment. It was not. I think they can withstand the loss of Frank Clark and Orlando Brown. I do. I think with that foundation they have, they will be just fine. I think they are
right,
above
but you don't know.
Oh,
you think, but you don't know.
I mean, George Karlaftis, I think, is a piece of evidence that he could slide in for Frank Clark. I think they did do something to address him offensive line by bringing in Juwan Taylor. I think he's a little bit worse, but we'll see. I think they're above questioning at this point.
Casey says Rodrigo's a second-tier linebacker like Jerry Jacobs at cornerback. If either is starting, it's likely not a good sign. Steve says Dan Campbell could pin Spenmo in 1 minute. Facts. I think you got that dog in you. I don't think he would pin you in a minute.
Yeah, I don't know. He's a big man.
He is, but so are you.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
You got to believe, Spenmo. Believe in yourself.
I've been hitting P-Fit lately.
Yeah.
Feeling pretty good. I think I can last a minute.
Drag him out to the streets of Royal Oak in your element.
I take him to the deep water. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
I think I can last a minute.
Am I hyping you up now, Spenmo? Are you starting to believe?
Yeah, he'll pin me. He'll pin me. But I think I can last longer than a minute.
Get him outside of Fifth Avenue in those streets and see what happens.
See what happens.
Yeah, it's not his element either.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Steve says Rodrigo showed his flaws by season's end, but was also a rookie and still very capable. And look, like, I'm not standing here questioning everything. I am saying this, though. When you drop Jack Campbell in there and you have a second-year guy, we're asking a lot, Spenmo, and that's fair. That's a fair question to ask. It's fair. That's all I'm saying. What?
Let's go Red Wings Party says Spenmo would last longer against Dan Campbell than with Meg. I think he means Meg the Stallion, and he's definitely true.
1,000,000% correct.
He's definitely true. But I can do things to supplement that with Meg, like take a couple night bullets.
Okay.
He's got the Sparty combination.
Yeah.
Down.
Never in the history of this network has a break been more needed than it is right this very second. Right,
Yeah.
Spenmo?
Here,
Yeah,
give me the rest
that's
of that concoction.
No, Spenmo, don't. Hey, leave them guessing. Put that on your OnlyFans, Spenmo.
That's fair.
All right, put that on your OnlyFans. What is today? Wednesday?
Today is Wednesday.
All right. How would you like to see famous athletes like Jim Harbaugh, Darren McCarty, and Braylon Edwards play golf with average Joes? Thanks to Randy Wise Automotive and Woodward Sports, you're able to do just that. It's a Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour. Make sure you go to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. The Jim Harbaugh episode is already up. I understand one will be coming soon with D-Mac and Braylon as well. And with your next automotive purchase, make the wise choice. And you can stop in any Randy Wise Automotive team for your chance to be a part of the Randy Wise Automotive Team Celebrity Golf Tour.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
How would you like to win a 100K Vegas getaway? Take your closest friends and live it up in the city that never sleeps. It's the Cintron Energy. Drink it and live it. Purchase a 24-pack today and enter to win the 100K Vegas getaway at drinkcintron.com/Vegas and buy Cintron at your local Meijer store. Cintron, the healthier energy drink with great taste and the choice of people who desire to look good and feel great and be the best versions of themselves. So make sure you go check out how to enter the contest at drinkcintron.com/Vegas.
Off and running, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal, Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter, Big D Energy, live from the Planet Fitness Studios. All of you in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread just chopping it up about the Lions. Guys, we're all in. We are all in. That is it. That is all.
Oh, Neal, did you see Justin Herbert's deal?
I did, as a matter of fact. I did.
See, Sam, mediocrity pays.
Mediocrity pays, Flannel.
He's not mediocre, but that's fine. He got his money. He got his well-deserved money. Who else? I mean, if you got a talent like Justin Herbert, who's put up the numbers that he has, of course you're going to pay him.
Yes, I agree with that.
Average annual salary viewpoint, Justin Herbert, now the top of the market at $52.5 million.
Yeah, and I'm sure.
So expectations change now.
Absolutely, and I'm sure Joe Burrow, when he gets his deal, he will reset the market, as he should.
Yeah, he'll probably get 270, I'm assuming.
I see Colosia in the chat. I wonder what the charge of faithful in San Diego, or that still follow the team, or what they think of it. I mean, writing was on the wall.
Yeah,
he wasn't going anywhere. And is Neal, like, as far as the money guy or whatever, that deal's sort of where they're going to be at, right? Which goes to your argument that if you get Goff at 40 with the produces, that's the deal. That's under market,
100%.
Right?
Goff right now coming into this year is the 15th highest paid quarterback. 15th.
It's a good deal.
Good deal.
100%.
100%.
Absolutely. So your boy Justin Herbert, when you're making $53 million per year, when you're the highest paid AAV quarterback in the National Football League, you better win playoff games.
I think he'll at least win
playoff
He'll
games.
at least win one, but he's not going to win the division over the Chiefs. But that's fine. They'll get in as a
Why
wild
not?
card.
He makes more money than Mahomes.
Because the Kansas City Chiefs are the greatest dynasty of the last 5 years. They are the dynasty of the last 5 years.
Right, but Justin Herbert's great, I was told.
He is great. He's not Patrick Mahomes.
Well, he's paid more than him.
Brandon Staley's not Andy Reid. They don't have a
Brandon
Travis Kelce.
Staley fucking sucks. Brandon Staley's a joke.
But Justin Herbert should be able to overcome that, right? I was told he was great.
He will next year when Ben Johnson's his head coach.
That's actually true.
That is true.
That's actually,
Yeah, I'm not delusional. 40 and 45 are the same thing when you're talking about guys making 50 and 60, Brandon. So, yeah, like you're arguing over that. That's still a deal, right? You're looking at Goff to get extended,
right?
Probably between 40 and 45, right? And 45 would be the high. And
if he pops off this year, 48,
right? But it's still gonna get you something where you see that you have to have it under value. Like that's the thought process, isn't it, right now with Holmes? Or do you just see Goff, getting, because I don't see him getting 60. I think it's sort of the way that it's in the tea leaves or whatever like that. The writing's on the wall.
Yeah, and again, I'm not asking for him to take a hometown discount because I don't believe in hometown discounts. Wait till I negotiate my next deal.
But
there are no hometown discounts.
Right, but here's the one thing that comes into play, right? If and I'll go back to, it's not a hometown discount. It's like, are you in, or are you sort of in the way? Like, what's a priority? Is winning a priority? Where you see that here, we can give you this because we're going to go spend this and this. And it has to have trust in the organization, right? So you have to have trust that you love, like the ownership and the general managers, and it's believing that you're building something, right? As opposed to if you go and get the dollar. What's the priority? If everybody, the hometown discount comes when everybody buys in, right? And guys that want to come in, the money that's saved because they're going to use it, right? That extra $5 million or whatever like that, and use it to go pay a guy that's going to protect you, something like that, right? So that's where the discount comes in. It's not really a discount. It's sort of, this is where we have you slotted in for this team to win, right? And I guess maybe it was different back, in the day for our teams. And I know it was like 20 years ago and stuff like this, or 30 years ago. Jeez, wow. It's the way that things were done, but it was always like contract time is that you sort of knew where you sort of fit in and you accepted it. And then because there's appreciation, Neal. That's the one thing is, do you feel appreciated? You like where you are? At the end of the day, it's not about that extra 2, 3, 5 million. Because how much
and
is
full disclosure,
enough?
You're a bad person to ask about this.
I'm
You've
a bad person to ask for this. But it's different. But at the end of the day, what's your priority? Is your priority building this team and winning the Super Bowl and stuff like that, or is your priority your bank account? That's the only two questions to ask, and use it as a which side of the 50 do you rest? Some guys are team guys are still 55-45, like so. The conversation will be there, but I expect to see something team friendly, as they call it.
No, I would agree, and we're still not to that. We're still not to that road yet. There's still another year of bliss. Goff's contract goes through next season, so we don't have to worry about that as of right now. And again, too, like when you see what they're doing with their cap space, even this year, the longer that they keep this block of cap space and don't really do anything with it, it tells me even more and more, Spemo, you better get ready, man, because it's going to drop sometime this season. I bet if they don't sign anybody of substance. It's going to drop this season. It is. They're going to do it and they're going to get it done.
But isn't it time? Like when is the time for Penei Sewell and Amon-Ra St. Brown? And
Amon-Ra's got next year, and then that's it.
Okay, so like these are decisions that have to go in too. And a lot of times, like when things aren't being made from the outside or going to get, it's because you like what you have,
right? And
you're going to reinvest.
And I knew this was going to come back to this because it always does. Like Justin Herbert's contract, my over-under was 48.5 seconds before Jared Goff's name gets brought up. And the under hit, pay the under, which, that's the way that it works. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Answer 14, Herbert's a great talent, but I've seen him go sad face in a game and play accordingly. Not elite, meh.
He's not meh. You know what he is right now if we're talking about him versus Patrick Mahomes? If Patrick Mahomes were Miami Heat LeBron James, Justin Herbert is peak apex Paul George. Just can't get over that hump. And it's understandable because nobody was getting over that hump.
Here's the one question I have. What if Justin Herbert had Ben Johnson as an OC? Do we view him as a different quarterback? Do we think that Ben Johnson can bring out these intangibles? Because we believe that athletically and physically he's a better quarterback, right, than Jared Goff. But I'm just saying, is it the fact that the people that he works with, or is it him? That's what so if you ask the question, well, if he had Ben Johnson, would he be different?
I think Spenmo was right. I think we're going to find out next September.
Yeah, it's because I find a very hard time believing Mike McCarthy and or Brandon Staley keep their jobs after this season.
Especially if they don't win a playoff game.
Yeah, and Ben Johnson's going to one of those two spots.
1,000%.
Dallas or LA, it's going to happen.
Yep, and he's going to get paid, and he'll be able to play them against each other. Yep. At least that's what I would do.
Oh, for sure.
I'll go to one of them.
Bidding war.
Yeah, I'll go to one of them, whichever one cuts the biggest check.
Yep.
You know.
I don't blame him.
And then
sucks.
I'll fix Rain Dakota.
Yeah.
I could fix anybody.
Mm-hmm.
By the way,
fix
too,
golf.
Since we're talking about this, Sam Flannel, when is your boy Patrick Mahomes going to say, all right, this, which is going to be weird to say, when is your boy Mahomes going to step up and say, yeah, this 10-year, $450 million contract I signed is a joke?
Man.
It's a joke.
I hope never, obviously, but that's not going to happen soon because he is one of the most underpaid athletes in all of sports. He should be the highest paid quarterback by a mile, but the fact that he's not could help the team succeed even more. So I hope it's not anytime soon, but it's coming. It's coming.
And I wonder if that's playing into the Chris Jones thing.
Another question mark when it comes to the Kansas City Chiefs.
The Chris Jones is a $30 million a year guy, period, end of story.
He is, moving forward, arguably the best interior defensive lineman in the NFL. When Aaron Donald falls off, it's Chris Jones' league when it comes to that
And Aaron
position.
Donald's getting 31, 32. He's 30.
Yeah, he's on the wrong side of 30.
He's one of two. I wouldn't. When Aaron Donald leaves, Chris Jones is one of two.
Quinnen Williams?
Yeah.
Sure.
That's fair.
And that, i.e., that equals $30 million a year. So if I were him, I would hold out too. But, that's for some national stuff and whatever. I don't even know how we got on that. But, yeah, your boy got paid, and he better win a damn playoff game.
He will this year. Actually, if he wants Ben Johnson to be his coach, it'd probably be 4D chess if he does not.
Mm-hmm.
But, I obviously am going to root for him to win a playoff game, except if it's at Kansas City or at the New York Jets, of course.
Yeah.
Perfect timing. Why don't you join us in the Dispo family live at the Romeo location this Friday, July 28th for all four of the shows from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. Brace yourself for an unforgettable journey at the pinnacle of cannabis experience located at 100 Schaefer Drive, Romeo, Michigan. Pull up and re-up with us. Dispo has over 12 locations with their new location right there in Whitmore Lake. It's now open. Dispo Dispensary, your local cannabis plug.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour.
You're a good coach, Tim. Oh, great shot.
Some of the biggest names in Michigan sports, and some, well, not so much.
Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, shit. Go in.
Watch episodes at woodwardsports.com.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network. The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. Because we win. Woodward Sports. Detroit's winning sports network.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal, Ruhl, Sam Flannel, Darren McCarty, Spencer Raxter, of course, here with you. Happy to have you all along for the ride. And we are, getting into this. We're talking Detroit Lions. A little side exit off the highway, quick rest stop there on the Justin Herbert contract, and it spun back to Jared Goff, which it always does. So that's not unexpected. Spenmo asked the question, and we touched on it when we talked about the linebacker situation, the secondary for the Detroit Lions. Obviously, we all got a scare with C.J. Gardner-Johnson and what happened with that. But D-Mac, I told you what my initial reaction was the moment that it happened. I think you leaned a little bit towards my side as well, where I wasn't one that was going to, to quote House of Pain, pack it up, pack it in. I was like, it sucks, obviously, but this is why they got all those dudes, man. This is why they addressed it in the draft. If it was going to happen to one area, it happened to the correct area, which is wild to say based on where they were, 7 months ago or whatever it was. But D-Mac, with that being said, and even after our linebacker discussion, give me a number. How confident are you in the depth of the secondary for the Detroit Lions?
I like it, and until you see, it still has to go out there and produce, right? Like everything, you're figuring that there's the camaraderie and they're going to figure it out. These guys still got to go figure out timing, figure out having to play with these guys. I'm telling you, Cam Sutton's new coming in. You're still waiting for, Mobley and now you're waiting for Gardner-Johnson, but hopefully he's back. So there's a feeling out process, but I think that the depth that's there, especially with the guys that you have. And the one thing is, remember, you got Tracy Walker coming back, and hopefully he's healthy. And I think that after missing the year, it's one of those things that we forget, right? Out of sight, out of mind. So there's another guy. Obviously, we mentioned Kirby Joseph, and I know that like Chase Lucas is still there, trying to battle. So the one thing that makes, at the end of the day, I feel that Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell, when they stand up on the podium or when they address, they're happy with the guys that they have in camp, and it's their guys. Right? They're guys. So, what if I'm looking at it like, if it doesn't work, you already mentioned it. There's money still there. So they've kept it. So maybe they're keeping the money because they're really not sure and they have to see how it plays out. We suspect it might be on the linebacker court because we look at that now as the weakest link. But maybe it's, again, you need more guys. You need more guys. Is it like pitching in baseball? Like you're going to lose guys in the secondary no matter what, so you need the value in numbers. And I would look at the depth and the different guys they got. They like what they have. So again, availability, that's where it's at. If they're available and they're healthy, they're going to be better than they were last year. How can they not be? But they could be a lot better. Just how long is it going to take for them to gel? And they have to be all on the field at the same time in practice to start figuring that out.
When that all went down, a name popped in my head that Sam Flannel was big on this. I was big on it too, and I don't know. Part of it was
I was excited till you said Sam was big on it.
Yeah, but I was too. And part of it on draft day was like the supposed value that you got when you drafted him. But the name that popped inside my head, because I feel like we've already forgotten about him to some degree, which is kind of wild to me. But Brian Branch, I think, will be the guy, D-Mac, in this secondary that makes the biggest contribution that you, quote-unquote, didn't see it coming. And which is why, Flannel, it's crazy to say, given where he was picked, that's a valuable piece of draft capital they used in him. But it seems like he's almost kind of fallen off the radar of everybody.
Well, it's because he was drafted into what has turned out to be as deep of a secondary room as I can even think of. I can't think of one that has the depth of the Detroit Lions. I mean, I could argue that the Lions have 7 starting level players in their secondary, and then you've got guys like Will Harris, Melifomu, Chase Lucas, Starling Thomas, guys who will be fighting for the roster spot. But yeah, Brian Branch with his diverse skill set, it seems like if somebody goes down, like C.J. Gardner-Johnson was obviously the scare of all scares, Brian Branch might be the guy who fills in, will be a guy who gets a lot of snaps because he can play safety, he can play corner, he can cover, he can defend the run, he can blitz. He does just about everything you could want to do. And in my opinion, he was a faster 40 time away from being a top 20 pick. And the Lions got him at 48. So as a depth piece this year, and as a starter and maybe perennial Pro Bowler as the years go on, I'm falling more and more in love with this Brian Branch pick as days go on.
Rumor is that blew a couple spikes in the 40. That's why it took the time off, and helped him drop, but nobody reported it, allegedly. Saying so, but yeah, Neal, that's and the three of us are all. 4 of us, Spenny, you like Branch too. We're all big on that. And I believe that's somebody to watch out that could make an impact. Remember, when we say that Kirby Joseph made the biggest impact last year in the secondary, right? Because Branch might not be with the interceptions, but the way that he can eat up space in that secondary, he might be the Kirby Joseph for this team from last year this year.
And D-Mac, you read my mind there because I was going to ask that question. What if he's in the ballpark of Kirby Joseph? Like Brian Branch.
I think Sam nailed it as far as like if you look at it, like that room's deep, right? And it's deep and it's got the experience, and even the guys who Mosley when he comes into town, you know what I'm saying? The fact that the experience, even if he's not on the field. So I think that's going to be huge. But even if he is, and he doesn't even if he is, but we're talking about that he can be better.
Right. And
it's a lot of hair in there right now.
There certainly is. Cat spot. You have to be able to cover at the second and third level in the NFL now, which is true. The Lions linebackers aren't good enough in coverage. And that's the knock, right? So some of the quote-unquote haters out there are going to, and that's going to have to be proven. It is. And I would tell you this, if they're not, then there's even more heat on the secondary. There's more pressure on the secondary because they're going to have to make up for it. I would say the secondary, and obviously the great equalizer in coverage is the defensive line. That's where your boy comes in, and Aiden Hutchinson.
Number 88 on NFL's top 100, Aiden Hutchinson. I will. That's how I'm going to address him from now on.
Okay. Who is he right behind?
Justin Fields, actually.
Oh, okay.
Which, that's another story for another day. We might get into it later. Stay tuned.
No, yeah. Maybe we will. We'll have to see. But the moral of the story is this. I'm very comfortable with the depth they have because an injury is coming in the backfield, in the defensive backfield, in the secondary. An injury will happen. The math says it will. And when it does, I expect that they are good enough from that perspective to be able to handle it. And that's what has me excited, D-Mac. Because in the past with this Lions football team, you had your first line and that was it. And why? Because your drafts were shitty for 2 decades. That's why. Now the drafts are good. And this will be yet another example of it. That was where the quote-unquote Brad Holmes security blanket, when I saw the CJ News, I didn't fall into this state of depression that everybody else did because it has been addressed in the draft without a first-round pick. It's been addressed in the draft, and that only reinforced to me that for once in our lives, this team is prepared to handle adversity like that.
No, insulated, right? Insulated to be able to handle adversity. That's what you said. You know, that's part of it. We always say it a million times, availability, right? So they're making it no matter who's available that they're going to be able to compete. And that's the way it hasn't been in the past. They did a great job last year. Why is the offensive line their greatest asset? Because they were able to piecemeal that thing together and to, keep Jared Goff upright, right? And allow him to do his job. So I think that it started, and we saw that with the offensive line last year. And now I think it's going to trickle out to all the different position groups. That's what's important. It's having depth in this league because guys are going to go down. It's just can you endure that, right? Can you endure that? Really on this team, the way that it's getting set up is that you can endure that except for at quarterback.
Right.
Right. So, I mean, right now that's what you're going to have to take, but that's better than where we were at the end of last year. You look at every position group right now, right? It's better than it was at the end of last year. Would you not agree?
Yeah,
if you look
absolutely.
In the room, so that's all. That's at training camp first week. What else do you want?
Right, and even the linebacker thing. Going back to the linebacker thing that we talked about. On paper, they took steps to improve it because they invested first-round draft capital in the position. So on paper, now we have to see, obviously, but they did the necessary steps to improve a quote-unquote area of weakness. Now it's up to Jack Campbell to deliver on that.
Absolutely. Which, by the way, I was talking to fearless leader Chad Johnson, who was out there, and that's what he said. I said, "What? Anything strike you?" He goes, "Man, Jack Campbell's big. Like, and if you haven't, and that's what you want to hear for your linebacker. Something about what he said is that he's tall enough where he can see over top of all the defensive line, to pick out the linebackers. And sometimes that's an advantage, right? Being 6'5", and that's what you want in your linebacker, right? So we're going to see. He's still got to adjust, NFL speed, schemes, stuff like that. How quick does he pick up the playbook? But we're going to find out, and that's the exciting part about being a fan.
No, it is. And in the training camp, hope springs eternal, right? It is the spring training for the NFL. Let me tell you something that is always great, that there is great depth in every time you go there, and that's Strawberry Fest at Big Boy. That is a deep lineup, everybody, even for breakfast. Look at it. Your leadoff spot, strawberry hotcakes, red velvet waffle. Right out of the gate, you're strong with that for breakfast. But what if you're not a breakfast guy? What if breakfast isn't your flavor? I'm not a huge breakfast person. How about in the meat of the lineup, the strawberry bacon chicken wrap? I've had it. It slaps. You want to go the salad route? They have the Summer Splash salad as well. And don't forget to grab dessert, the OG of all of it, the strawberry pie. That's what started Strawberry Fest as a whole. You can do deep fried vanilla Oreos if you're extra, like Darren McCarty. That's about his flavor. Strawberry hot fudge cake. All of it is available to you. Get to your local Big Boy for Strawberry Fest today.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically enter for your chance to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice, courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. That's right, 2 cars, one for you, one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime, sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Let one of our talented, award-winning stylists make you look handsome and clean. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Your childhood may be over, but playtime, it is not. Outdoor Equipment Company is your source for outdoor power equipment. Whether it's sales, service, or parts, carrying top brands such as Bad Boy, Ellis Tractor, Steel, and more. Servicing the Great Lakes region with locations in Metro Detroit and Greater Lansing. For more information, visit us at OutdoorEquipCo.com. Outdoor Equip Co., your power equipment playground.
Pulling up on the second hour of the show, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter, all of you in the woodwardsports.com chat thread. Get your thoughts in there. Subscribe to the Big D Energy podcast. Rate it 5-star if you would be so kind.
5-star.
5. How many stars?
5 stars.
How many stars?
5 stars.
How many stars?
5 stars.
5-star review. Man, that was like an Under Armour commercial right there.
That was a good one.
Yeah, but jump on in there. We're chopping it up. We're talking Detroit Lions. And Sam Flannel, Jack Harrington, oh boy, the Hutch nut hugger. Hey, Jack, that's not fair.
He said he's a proud Hutchinson nut hugger.
I actually did say that.
We had a drop of it.
But to be fair, I think that's warranted right now.
I agree.
Are you nut hugging or meat riding? You're more nut hugging?
I mean, both.
Okay. Oh, there you go. All right. Self-awareness, Sam. That's all I want. I'm done.
that.
You guys continue.
Yeah.
Got what I needed.
But the top 100 rankings, who did this one?
It's by the players.
Oh, by the players.
Yeah, it's the actual.
It's the real one.
Yeah, it's the real one.
It's the real.
Well, even more goes into it. And look, both things can be true. Aiden Hutchinson inside the top 100 at 88. And I'll tell you guys this. From where he was after week 4, for the players in the league to say this about him. First off, I saw you get a different look in your eye when you were informed that the players did this ranking.
Oh, because it's legit.
That's it. That's all, right?
That's all it is. Before we get on this, I got to know Sam, bigger meat rider, nut hugger, Patrick Mahomes or Aiden Hutchinson?
I mean, Aiden Hutchinson has the Michigan and Lions factor, so I'll go Aiden Hutchinson.
Okay, thank you. All right, that was just for my just to understand for future reference by me. But back to it, though. No, it means a lot, and I think that time in the league, what they see, what they've played against, progress after the first year to make the top 100, that's a big deal. That's a big deal. That's a lot of respect. And that's a right, dude. I mean, Sam, listen, if you're gonna nut hug anybody, you're hugging the right nuts, because he's only getting better. It's just the same conversation you're gonna say with anybody else in the top 100. Mm-hmm. How are you viewed by, your peers? To me, Aiden Hutchinson, is it a surprise? Not really. Just how in depth. Like sometimes you might run into here's the thing, and I don't think more so today's day and age because of social media and guys like that, but there used to be maybe if it was a rookie and it was somebody that you didn't want to give the rub to, even though he deserved it, you weren't going to vote him because, it's a respect factor, right? You're going to respect everybody else. This, I think it's totally done by the players, and it's truthful that they don't care. There's no angling or props to it, but what this list really doesn't tell me more about what my guys, it tells me more about other guys, and especially a guy that you've hung your hat and died on a hill for. But that does, because it's coming, and I'm talking about Justin Fields being in the top 100 because he can't throw. I mean, it's been every time we bring up Justin Fields, he's Brandon Katz. He's only completed 15 throws in 5 games and whatever. We know he hasn't run, but the fact that he's right there by his peers of what an athlete he is. And the expectations that they think that, once he figures it out a little bit and can throw a little bit above the rim. So it's the other players. It's names that you might not have seen or rank as high or lower than you would expect. It's for you to use a barometer, and the players pretty much telling you what they think on the average, right?
No, it absolutely is. And it goes back to what I said too, and I know how this is going to be construed, and I know it going in, and that's fine, whatever. Here's the deal with Justin Fields. It's like I talked about before when watching him play a few games, and I saw this early on with Jalen Hurts. You can confirm, Minister of Integrity. Yeah. You can confirm, Sam Flannel. You as well. You can confirm.
I will confirm.
I'm getting those kinds of vibes from Justin Fields, more so on the running side, but for him to be put on this list ahead of Trevor Lawrence, ahead of Aiden Hutchinson, D-Mac, it tells me, by the players, it tells me his ability to run the football is dynamic. His ability to run the football maybe feared a little bit by players, because the players know.
No,
they're the ones
absolutely.
in the arena.
What I would use for reference is go back to where Jalen Hurts was, because that's the same thing. I was in the camp that he's got to prove to me a lot like what Justin Fields to throw the ball, and then he did. Then he proved that he could. That was a check mark that was answered. Go back to before he could prove it before last season and stuff. Where did the players rank him? Right? Because he's probably on their list telling you, dude, when this guy figures it out, right? The weakest part of his game, when he gets average at the weakest part of his game, then everything else pops. That's what it is. The players are telling you that. So the defensive guys are saying, man, I don't like when he breaks the huddle. I mean, he's that big of a specimen in the way that he runs, so it tells you everything. And it tells you more of what maybe that's the thing. Who did that they fear, or who do they respect that can overcome and will work hard to overcome their flaws and get better. So Jalen Hurts is a great one to copy. It's either him or like Lamar. The question's on Lamar, and what's Lamar go out and do? He wins MVP. So that's what the players are telling you here. That's what I'm reading.
Yeah, and
that he's got that potential in their eyes.
And that's the biggest thing, D-Mac, to me is, again, I think people forget, and this is why I said the Bears are going to be a problem. Like, I know that we've had this coronation, and it's a Lions division and stuff like that, but going forward, the Bears are going to be the problem. As long as Justin Fields stays healthy. Do people realize what he did? Spenmo, do people realize what Justin Fields did running the football last year? Do they understand it?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Well, they have to
he was
look
like 4th in the
us.
league in rushing yards.
He's dynamic.
Yeah. Right, which
he's not good. He's not okay. He's dynamic.
Right, at running, but if he doesn't evolve as a passer, right, and at least get competent as a passer, he's going to either get hurt, right? What are we saying? He's going to be like Cam Newton, right? He's going to get hurt. You can't in this league rest on your legs. It's inevitable, right? So he's got to develop that because it's not about the fact that he can do it. It's taking that punishment over and over again as you get older. You're gonna get hurt, probably by your own dude getting blocked into you or something stupid. But
and everyone says that, like, you can't keep running the ball like that. We were talking about Justin Herbert's.
It's the same conversation we had about Cam Newton. But there is a time where it's just the one-trick pony's not going to work. Why will it'll work is if he develops a touch or he develops a throw where you have to respect that, and it buys him some time. What makes Patrick Mahomes so good, right? He will run when he needs to run, but his best thing is scrambling and being able to throw that ball from
no question.
Unbelievable, right? Justin Fields doesn't have that, so what does that mean? You're either throwing it away, you're not getting the completions, or you're getting crushed. I'm just saying that. But what this is telling you, Neal, is watch out this year because he's going to make a step in his throwing like Jalen Hurts did last year, or prove the doubters.
I don't know. I have a lot of respect and fear for a dude that rolled out and had almost 1,200 yards rushing.
You know, but
I do.
Okay. So that was last year.
I fear that.
What do we know in the history of this league?
That if you're dynamic enough, you'll be able to continue to do it.
Okay, keep putting up 1,200. No, what's going to happen is I'd love to see it, but he's going to step in a hole. He's going to, if he sticks to this one-trick pony and doesn't evolve.
Well, see, and everyone said that forever, though, D-Mac. And, like, look, we were talking about Herbert's contract earlier. You know he's in the space now of paid quarterbacks? It's him, it's Watson, and it's Lamar Jackson. Those are the 3 highest paid guys now at the quarterback spot.
Cool.
It's the way it works, man.
Right. So but I'm just saying, my thing is if there's a bet, right, that if he doesn't develop where has some sort of passing attack, he will get hurt. It's inevitable. I don't think, is he going to run for 1,200 yards for 10 years? You're saying that he could, right?
He's dynamic, man.
I get it, but even Lamar Jackson's dynamic in what happened. All these guys need help, and he's got to develop that. That's what I think. Availability is the number one.
No question.
And we've seen in the past he's been hurt. So I'm just saying that he's got to evolve the game.
Yeah. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Green Bay will be better than the Bears. I'm sorry, guys. I don't see this. I'll take it to you. Spend my value your opinion. Am I crazy with this?
I don't think you're too crazy. I think Justin Fields is going to be a great player for a while, but I do think the Bears are missing a couple pieces. Their defensive line isn't that good. Their offensive line isn't that good.
Yeah, they can't fix it all in one offseason.
Their cornerbacks suck. But I do think Green Bay will be better, but I don't think it's going to be too... I could see the Bears winning 7-8 games this year.
And I'm talking about within the next 5 years.
No. Oh yeah, the Bears will be
2 years.
Yeah, Bears,
next 2 years. Whatever time frame you want to put.
Next year for them.
Yeah.
If we're having this conversation going into next season, that's why it's so imperative that the Lions take advantage right now because they're ready. They're in it. Because the Bears are only going to get better. And if you're telling me if Justin Fields is what the players say, what you tell me he's going to be, then they're only going to get better.
No, and they will, and he will. People act like this is the finished product. Again, I'm getting the big Jalen Hurts vibes from him. When he takes his step forward, which I believe he will, he's going to be a problem.
So you either get Jalen Hurts vibes or you get RG3 vibes. Which one do you?
RG3 was never like that guy.
Okay, then Lamar vibe. But what I'm saying is that he's got to show that eyeball that we saw. With Jalen, okay, he can make that throw. He can make that, adding to A.J. Brown. Does he have that, Fields? No, not this year. But I think that the Bears are to be reckoned with, not this year, but next year. I agree with you, Spenny. They're probably a 6, 7, 8 win team.
And they're going to be the problem going forward.
Yes, I would agree with that. They're on the come up. While the other two teams, the Vikings are obviously fallen off the face of the earth. Not yet. They'll still be pretty good next, but they're slowly
trending down.
Trending down. So are the Packers,
and also too, they have the Panthers' first-round pick next year and their own first-round pick.
The Bears are going to be good. They're definitely going to be. They're going to be one of the teams to watch for sure.
That's all I'm saying out here. That's all I'm trying to say. They're my biggest concern, and I think that that's fair. But hey, maybe I should hit up Swiss. Maybe I can get some NFC North insurance.
That is nobody's biggest concern, and that's Swiss Insurance I'm talking about. And are you planning or sponsoring a golf outing this year? Ask Swiss Insurance about hole-in-one, putting contests, and $1 million shootout coverage. For a very affordable amount, you could give away a huge prize like $10,000 or a new car. Help build your business with big ideas. Check out Swiss today, swissins.com, or call Mark at 248-800-4177. Again, that is 248-800-4177, Swiss Insurance.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal, Ruhl, Darren, McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter. Subscribe to the Big D Energy podcast. iTunes, Spotify, Spreaker, wherever you get them, you can subscribe. There, drop a 5-star. How many stars?
5-star.
5-star review on there. And review it too. Talk about how bad Sam Flannel is. You guys make me laugh with those kinds of things. So, I mean, I'm not saying you have to do that.
And say how Neal still owes me coffee.
I do. 1
Didn't your
o'clock.
alarm go off?
I got my reminder on the phone.
Oh, okay.
After the show. Is that cool?
All right. Yeah, it's cool.
All right. There you go. I have it right here. I can show it to you if you want.
I believe you.
I will settle up.
You're a man of honor.
I will pay my debts.
I believe in you.
I will pay my debts to it. Keeping it football. We're going to shift to college. The Jim Harbaugh situation made the rounds in local media yesterday. Even the Detroit News wrote a critical piece about Jim Harbaugh, which I was stunned by, Flannel.
I mean, they only write critical stuff about MSU, right? Every time they sneeze, according to MSU folk.
I'm not here to comment on that. I'm just here to say they never write anything negative about Harbaugh.
I mean, he got suspended, so it is what it is.
Which I don't care about. If anything, because I know what some of the talking heads in the town did. They went back to the Mozzie Smith thing, which I said I didn't care about back then even. All that does is further entrench to me, this is why it's turned for Michigan. Because they're off of that morality chase. They're off of that Michigan men, we're on moral high ground, higher moral ground than you, all that stuff. Don't care. Win games. They're going down that SE. Are you cool with that, Flannel?
Yeah, I'm cool because, I mean, look at the last couple of years. You mentioned it. There's no denying that Michigan has taken a substantial leap, at least when it comes to the Big Ten. Finally winning Big Tens, finally beating Ohio State back-to-back years, getting to the college football playoff. Of course, last season losing in terrible fashion to TCU, but they're at least in the conversation every year, and the Big Ten for now runs through Ann Arbor. And I would ask if anybody is not cool with it. I mean, I was there for the Rich Rod years. I was there for the Brady Hoke years. I was there for the first 6 years of Jim Harbaugh, where it seemed like there was a finite ceiling of, hey, they could maybe have a good regular season, but they would definitely lose to Ohio State. And hell, when it came to Brady Hoke and Rich Rod 3 times, they had losing seasons where they didn't even make bowl games. So if you like winning, you should just be okay with him serving this 4-game suspension, Michigan winning all those games by 30 points, and moving on.
No, and that's where it is with me, D-Mac. And we discussed this yesterday, and you said you were in lockstep with me that you're going to have to swim in those kinds of waters if you want to swim in those kinds of waters.
I think it's cool.
I do too, low-key.
You finally did something, you know what I mean? Woo, you crossed the road outside the crosswalk, you jaywalked a little bit. And at the end of the day, I don't get it. Because of the sandwiches and all this other stuff. But the NCAA wasn't going to let it go, right? So if they're going to make you like the villain, then why don't you start acting a little bit like it and swimming in those waters? This is so stupid in semantics of the letter of what we're really talking about, a sandwich and stuff here, right? But at the end of the day, no, if you gonna get treated like that or you want to act like that, then embrace it. That's what I'm saying. Then embrace it, because if you embrace it, then it tells me that we can at least compete. And then maybe you got my attention a little more, that maybe we are gonna do some things that'll get us over the edge that other teams do, right? Because that's what we're talking about, right? Winning, right, Neal?
Yeah. Well, hey, I asked for this low key. I asked internally. I said somebody's going to give this to me, and they did. Cody Engel says this Harbaugh thing is a lot like the JMO thing. Is it a dumb rule? Yes. But were rules broken? Also yes. If there wasn't any merit, why negotiate it to 4 games? So that way, Cody, let me explain how this stuff works to everybody. The NCAA, with the coaches, with the programs, with the universities, all this kind of stuff, everything's open for negotiation. What does the NCAA want in all this? They want a perceived victory. That's it. The suspension doesn't really matter. They don't play anybody till November. You could suspend them till November, and it doesn't matter. And again, I'm not being critical. I would do that too if I were the coach and I had control over my schedule, which every college football team does. They control their schedule outside of conference. I would do the same thing, because there's no point. There's no reward. There's no reward for you playing a tough schedule. It's no different than if you play an easy schedule and win. You get your wins and you move on. We're fascinated with the undefeated team. We're fascinated with it. That's all it takes. So, again, I just want to put that out there so I don't get that hate. For me, it's just, it doesn't matter to me because that, bless you, Spenny, because that's what your competition is doing. This is like Barry Bonds is my favorite baseball player of all time, because he's the greatest baseball player ever. Until Shohei came along. He was the greatest baseball player ever. Defensively, offensively, power, speed, 500 steals, 500 home runs.
Spenny, could you fit into a Barry Bonds hat? You
probably.
You and Barry Bonds' hat is probably the same. For anybody out there, Spenny, you got an 8.5?
Yep.
Yeah, but when you boil it all down, there was a definitive line in his career where he got bigger. Guess what? He was a Hall of Famer before that. 500 home runs, 500 stolen bases, man. Only one other person in the history of the game is even 300, and that was his dad, by the way. So, you know what I'm saying? He's great. All he did was do what everybody else was doing. And does that make it okay to break the rules? You know what? Answer 14, because you have this in here right now. So, Neal, you're saying because they broke the rules, this is some form of a breakthrough? Hard sell. Dismissing the rules is okay if you win, not cool. Those are the stakes, answer 14. This is the way you win in this. How many more examples do you need? Look at Georgia. Georgia's a goddamn circus, what's going on down there. But guess what else? Back-to-back national champions that nobody can touch. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm not telling you it's right. I'm telling you that's the way it works. You got to divorce the emotion of it all. This is the way it works. If you want to win. Okay, so I'll answer 14. I don't know, if you're a Michigan fan, should they have suspended Mozzie Smith for the rest of the year for going 300 miles an hour in a 25 zone with a loaded gun in the car? Should they? I don't know, but they didn't. That's not my problem. I'm not the police. So he went from being pulled over, got on the plane, and went and played the game. And guess what? If I were the coach, guess what I would have done? We were going for a national championship. I would have played him too. I'm being honest about it. You need to be honest about it. You want to get caught up in this?
Yeah, or else you get suspended like Jim Harbaugh for not being honest.
Right. You see what I'm saying here?
Let's go.
And what was the punishment really? What was the punishment really?
Slap on the wrist.
A slap on the wrist. It was nothing. Was the juice worth the squeeze?
Yes.
By the way, did they get that recruit that he bought the cheeseburger for? Do we know that?
I don't know.
I don't know.
We don't know the answer to that. But whatever. And I guess when you boil it all down, like the people want to say, it wasn't a cheeseburger, Neal, it was the lie. Okay. He got caught. He got suspended 4 games against Bowling Green, UNLV, Eastern Carolina, and Rutgers.
Doesn't Eastern Carolina run the triple option sweep left 9?
No, they had a pretty good they were decent last year. Like they had a pretty good quarterback, but those guys are gone.
About that
now.
game, Sam?
No,
not at all.
No, we shouldn't be.
They should win all those games by 20-plus points.
Absolutely, and they will.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't matter. And that's why, if it were me and I were a Michigan fan, I do not care that he got suspended for 4 games. And Flannel, mark me on this to answer 14's question. Do they seem to be being rewarded for being a little moral, questionably? Do they seem to be being rewarded?
Yes.
The outcomes suggest they are.
Yeah. Like I said before, the last 2 years have been different as opposed to the previous, 25 around that time since about 1997. So yeah, this is at this point. Michigan, they're going to win the first 4 games. You could have Coach Spencer Raxter or Coach Neal Ruhl out there, or Coach Flannel Sam, and they would still win those games by 30-plus points. And here's the thing, too. And
my Powder Puff teams were cold.
Hey, like I said, I mean, you could definitely get a 35-point win when they play UNLV, no doubt about it. But here's the thing that I actually mentioned on the morning show earlier, which I heard brought up by a couple of people. Even if Jim Harbaugh deserved to be suspended, even if he did do wrong things, which I'm sure he did, I don't really care, he is going to feel like he was wronged by the NCAA and coach with a little bit of a chip on his shoulder.
Martyr.
I mean, that's the thing, whether it's right or wrong, and I sometimes find like the martyr stance a little bit nauseating at times, but Jim Harbaugh can use that to his advantage. Come back in Game 5 and just coach pissed off for the rest of the season. If you're Jim Harbaugh, look at it as we'll get the last laugh when we win the Natty, and we can give the proverbial middle finger when we do it. And I think Jim Harbaugh's got that type of chip on his shoulder.
You bring up a great point, right? Is this a different angle of coaching or whatever, us against them, or the NCAA, where he can go to his team?
It would be if it were my team.
But what I'm saying is that this plays right into his hand. How you're going to use this as a positive? How that the disrespect or saying whatever else. Where at the end of the day, you do the crime, you do the time, whether we think it's how white collar it is, and this is like a misdemeanor. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. But how does Jim Harbaugh, and if he is such a great coach, you guys are sitting here telling me that he's the best coach to never win a championship, right? You told me that. Yeah. So this is because he has he used this in the locker room as motivation, sort of us against them, where the NCAA and stuff like, do you get where I'm going here? This could be brilliant, right? And also the fact that the veterans that he has, and I just look to Corum and Edwards, right, in the backfield, right, to establish himself. Without the coach there on game days, the first 4 games, you're gonna have to take some leadership as your seniors and your guys in the locker room. That it will build more to it's their team. So I think that this, if you're looking for an angle on it, this can benefit them if they use it to their advantage, as Sam says, as not only a chip on the shoulder for the coach, but for the whole team.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread, answer 14 says, you can't say a rule infraction is okay because we win. I'm honestly in disagreement. Flannel.
I mean,
would you take a rule infraction for a national title?
Yes, 100%. I would give anything.
Yeah.
Remember we did this question before?
Yeah.
I brought this to you guys. Would you take a non-fatal gunshot to the leg for a national championship? Spenmo, you said yes.
In a heartbeat.
Right now, right here, right here in the studio.
He's reaching for a gun.
Yeah. Mozzie Smith might be able to help you out there. But what? It happened.
Oh,
that's fair.
Oh. That was. Don't be mad at me.
I know.
I didn't get pulled over with a loaded handgun.
I mean, he can deliver that non-fatal gunshot to me because I would take that trade in a heartbeat as well for a national championship, 100%.
So I answer 14 with all due respect. You sound like you stand on your morals, and that's admirable. It is, but you're not competing in a field that has morals around you.
It's fair.
So You can't expect the same results.
Can't beat them, join them.
Yeah, you can't expect the same results if you're not playing by the same rules or lack thereof. You can't. Are you gonna keep sending a mouse into the snake pit, or are you gonna send your own snake?
That's a bar.
I stole it from a movie.
It's a good one, though.
Well used.
It was Samuel Jackson, I think.
Snakes on a plane?
I can't remember what movie it was from.
I hope it's.
But it's a great line.
Yeah, that is a great line.
Planet Fitness is a great gym. Was there this morning, getting the work in. You know what it is. $1 down, $10 a month. Summertime, perfect time. It's always a perfect time to join that gym. Guys, take that first step. Take that first step and get it going. Establish a routine. Planet Fitness can become part of that routine because they're everywhere. There's over 2,400 of them in the world. There's over 50 of them in Metro Detroit alone. We're going to be broadcasting at Dispo. I'll be able to go to the one right there by my house in Shelby Township. It's perfect. It lines up perfectly for me. When we're out at the Chevy dealer at Feldman, there's one a mile down the road. Everywhere we go, there's a Planet Fitness right there. It doesn't allow me to get away from my routine, and it can do it for you guys as well. $1 down, $10 a month. Boom, you're in there, ready to go. Just get it going. I always like that. I'll see some new people at the gym, and you could tell they're taking their first steps, and it makes me happy. They're getting the routine going, and you can do it too with Planet Fitness. Go to planetfitness.com. You can join today, or you can pull in the parking lot. You're going to pass a couple on the way home. Like I said, Darren McCarty, it's Planet Fitness.
Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl. Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter, WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Ryan says Neal is cooking right now. And look, I was told I'm a Michigan hater. I thought I kept it pretty well.
That's a good segment.
And you can run that back for Michigan State. Yeah. That would be my exact same thoughts for Michigan State as well. Because you're swimming in those waters, man, and it's the only way. I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying what it is.
That's how you got to do it.
That's it. That's all, man. But yeah, we're chopping it up. Just a little bit of college football in there, which begs the question: through all of this, Jack Harrington says you nailed it, Neal. A lot of Ryan Day slander, by the way. He's like year 3 Jim Harbaugh right now. Year 4 Jim Harbaugh.
I mean, except Ryan Day pretty much beats everyone in his path except Michigan, right. And in the college football playoff, of course.
Right.
He's a good coach, and quarterbacks have really developed under him.
I know. It's funny to hear. Sound kayak. Mozzie didn't shoot anybody. I didn't say he did. Just had a loaded weapon in the car. But anyway, it's funny to hear me say this about, or hear people say this about Ryan Day, when literally you can just replace Ryan Day with Jim Harbaugh and go back 2.5 years, and it's the same combo.
Yeah, and Ryan Day has a victory as a head coach over Michigan in 2019 in which he hung 56 on us. So, I mean, I think Ohio State fans are a little bit too quick to throw away Ryan Day. Although
it's Michigan fans on here saying it about Ryan Day.
I mean, I would like for Ryan Day to stick along because I think Michigan has become a bit of a barrier for him, but still, Ryan Day is a good coach. He's a very good coach. I respect him a lot.
No. Okay, and you should, because he is a good coach. But D-Mac, through all this, and this was actually a side discussion to a question Spencer asked on the show sheet. Through all this, D-Mac, and you alluded to it a little bit, Wake, you talked about we will make this a rallying cry and all that kind of stuff, where you can. That's available to you to do. Does it, and I don't think it does, but I don't want to spike the Kool-Aid for you, even though I guess I just did. But is it a make or break season for Harbaugh now? Like with the suspension, with knocking on the door, with being right there, with an absolute choke job against TCU? Because when you're almost a double-digit favorite and you lose, that's a choke job.
It was a choke job.
Is this it? Is it make? And I don't say make or break like they're going to fire him if he doesn't win. I'm saying like in the court of public opinion.
No, I think it's already there, but the expectations, like you hear all the Michigan faithful and whatever, is they expect more to get back there and to compete for a national championship, and without that, then they're disappointed. So they got to take another step. Last year they were supposed to win that playoff game and get to the national championship, but I think anything other than making the playoffs is disappointing for them. But again, no, is Jim Harbaugh's job in jeopardy at all?
No, absolutely not.
Not at all.
It was like when he was losing. But D-Mac, I was saying that when he was losing,
to the message,
he was never going anywhere.
To the credibility of what he's building,
that's
the
way to put it.
And the momentum and the traction that they've gained, even with that huge disappointment, right, against TCU, people are still behind them, right? So they got to come out with the team that they have. So it's again, Neal, it's playoffs, or people are going to be utterly disappointed, right? Like, again, because now I think the perception is that, and it's almost, you got to be careful about it, and it goes back to all the Michigan fans in the chat talking about bad mouthing Ryan Day or whatever like that. Yeah, you might have his number, but dude, you can't ever overthink that game or take that game for granted, because that's the closest flip game. And now you have to make sure you win that Ohio State game to pretty much solidify your playoff appearance.
Yeah. You'll probably get in if you lose, but if you take out all the guesswork.
Why are you gonna take that chance?
Right.
And whatever else going into, even if you do make the playoffs, right? But you lose to Ohio State, like that to me is always going to be the game. They got to show the dominance in the Big Ten. Now make the playoffs for me, but also, like, what's more important is winning another Big Ten championship and showing that they are the class of the Big Ten. That's more important, because that's where you start, right? That's where you start. And if you're getting into these waters and you're getting treated and disrespected and stuff like this, maybe that helps you get over the edge. I'm more concerned with taking care of the Ohio State and letting the national, because still, do you think you can compete on a national level with the Georgias and the Alabamas and all this other stuff? Can you make that big of a step? We thought we were making the step last year and we couldn't beat TCU.
Over the course of a decade, no. But if it's ever going to happen, it's going to be this year.
So if it is this year, if that's
it's
the thing.
It's got to be.
So we're talking about Michigan doing it this year, like we're talking about the Lions winning the North, hosting a playoff game, and winning a playoff game, right? So
I would say Michigan is like the Lions next year if they won a playoff game this year. You know what I'm saying? Like, can you imagine, like, if the Lions win the division, win a playoff game, say get to the NFC title game, lose to Philadelphia? Can you imagine what those if our expectations are what they are this year? Imagine what they would be like next year under those circumstances. For me, if I'm a Michigan fan, which I am not, it's got to be this year. And the suspension, all that kind of stuff, it doesn't play. And Guy, I knew people were going to get right into that. No, he was never going to lose his job, Neal. He was never going to lose his job when he was losing. You didn't have your athletic director wasn't about that life. Your fan base wasn't about that life. He's a Michigan guy. He ain't going anywhere. Like that was always going to be the case. It's just everything lines up, because who's Bama's quarterback? Who's Georgia's quarterback?
Don't know.
I couldn't tell you right now. I haven't done the deep dive yet, But I can you tell me off the top of your head? I can't.
No, I can't. And further off of that, who's Ohio State's quarterback? Who's TCU's quarterback for that matter? Right. And that's the thing about Michigan. I think that it's as clear as day, even to the haters like Lindsey Hunter or Terry Foster who say it's never going to happen. This would be the year that it absolutely has to get done, because this year, even more so than the previous 2 years, they are going to be favored in every single game that they play.
By almost double digits.
I could argue that the way that the schedule plays out, that maybe at Penn State will be a tougher game than home versus Ohio State. I think Ohio State could have 2 losses by then, but maybe I'm crazy. It's just quarterback is an important position. When you look at every single other team that made the college football playoff, Ohio State lost C.J. Stroud, TCU lost Max Duggan, Georgia lost Stetson Bennett, and Alabama, the team that was closest to making it but didn't make it, lost Bryce Young, along with Jahmyr Gibbs and Brian Branch and Will Anderson. And
pretty much the whole first 2 rounds of the NFL draft.
Well, and that's the thing. And Georgia lost Jalen Carter, and TCU lost Quentin Johnston, and Ohio State lost C.J. Stroud, and I don't know if they had another first-round pick. They had that offensive line, Paris Johnson. So Michigan, though, they're bringing back Edwards and Corum. They're bringing back their guards. They're bringing back some wide receivers. They're bringing back Will Johnson. They're bringing back Chris Jenkins. They're bringing back Junior Colson. They're bringing back Rod Moore. So this is the year where they absolutely have to do it.
And it's, for me, Flannel, it all boils down to the quarterback thing. Why did you lose against TCU? Because of who?
Because J.J. McCarthy threw 2 pick sixes, and they had 2 empty possessions inside the TCU 2-yard line.
That's it. That's all.
That's like a how many point swing at that point? I mean, so many that if they play clean football and don't turn the football over, they win that game. 100%.
But they didn't.
They did not.
They had a first-year starter at quarterback that they insulated the whole year long, and when he finally got in the pressure cooker, that's what happened.
Yeah.
You can be upset about it, but it did happen.
No, I'm not upset about it. I would just tell you, too, that I think J.J. McCarthy showed a lot in that game bringing them back, but by then it was too late, and the defense couldn't get a couple of majors.
Well, yeah, because they were gassed. And why were they gassed?
They were on the field. I mean, I think Quentin Johnston is still running somewhere at this point. I think TCU's backup running back going for about a 69-yard run, even when Kendre Miller was out. All bad. But this is the year that they have to do it, because they will lose a lot of players going into 2024, and they will have a tougher schedule.
DNC-ENT says, yes, this year was a fireable offense. Not many coaches get the opportunity to go 1-7 in bowl games. But that doesn't but here's the difference, DNC. That doesn't apply at Michigan. You build statues of guys that go 2-8 in Rose Bowl games alone.
Well, and also all bowl games aren't created equal, because getting to the college football playoff the last 2 years, I don't care what you say as a Michigan fan, you would have taken that in 2018 if you said you were going to get that in 2021 and 2022. Obviously, I'd like for them to win the national championship this year, but it's all been a progression that should culminate in a national championship this year. They just have to go out and show it.
Drell 10 says, Michigan couldn't have an easier road to the playoffs. And D-Mac, that's where I'm at with it. It is championship or bust this year, because when you come to next year, Georgia's quarterback will be in their second year. Alabama's quarterback will be in their second year. There's always one team that pops. There's always a TCU every year that pops up.
You got to wait for Auburn or LSU. Or is that or Clemson? Is that the year that they decide to pop? You know what I'm saying? They pop up every 3, 4,
LSU,
5 years.
low key is going to. They are going to win a national title in the next 5 years.
They're my, as we say, not to get right, but they're my long, I'm betting them preseason national championship. It just seems like it goes like that where they pop up. But to your point, as if I was a Michigan fan, yeah, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? Then you look at the talent that you have coming back and you put all the pieces together and you explain the why. Why this year is the year.
You see what Ryan says in the chat?
What's that?
Y'all sleeping on the Gamecocks. You know what time it is, baby!
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Spencer Rattler breakout season.
The best hat in sports history.
I saw a story real quick before we cut to this break. I saw a story that made the case that Spencer Rattler could still be a first-round draft pick.
He's got such a sick logo.
So could I.
Yo, that game he had against Tennessee, though, that was electric.
Yeah, that was a good game.
If he does it again,
he's very, very talented. He just strikes me as one of those guys that doesn't love football.
He's a douchebag, too.
Yeah, I would
no
agree
doubt.
with that.
But if he gets drafted in the first round of the NFL draft, That would be the greatest comeback story I've ever seen in my life. For real.
In your life?
Yes. D-Mac.
What about Seabiscuit?
He was banished.
That was a good one, too.
Like, he was the Messiah, and then he was awful and banished to South Carolina.
Story to look, right? Like, that's something to keep an eye on.
Yes.
Throughout the season. Is he your Will Levis or your Anthony Richardson? Is he the Anthony Richardson of this year's?
If he plays like he did against Tennessee, no, he won't be.
Well, if he goes,
let me tell you who's not the Will Levis of home security.
Well, I'm just saying, but we'll protect Will Levis and whatever he needs protected. You know who I'm talking about, Guardian Alarm. You can let Guardian Alarm offer you customized solutions from their real experts. Professional technicians take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. But I need you to call Guardian Alarm today. The number 1-800
Stay out.
24/7 professional monitoring. Call anytime, day or night, and know that a Guardian team member will stay on the phone as long as it's needed. But I need you to call the number 1-800
Stay out.
Technology backed by people. Yes, real people, flesh and blood. Your safety and security deserves technology that's been proven to work, and Homo sapiens, real people, have been proven to care. How do I know this? Because they care so much. They've been protecting Flannel Sam. Yes, Sam Flannel's flannel. For how many straight days, Flannel?
323.
323. That's a 323. 323 straight days of flannel protection. Guardian Alarm doesn't care. Business, personal, where you're from, who you are, they're just gonna protect. So if you want that type of protection, even Flannel Sam has, give Guardian a call. 1-800
Stay out. Stay out of the Detroit Tigers dugout. Eduardo Rodriguez, you done good, but that should have been your last start.
Stay out of topics, Tigers. You guys are dead.
I'm just glad to say that Alavila has stayed out of the Detroit Tigers organization.
Good one.
Guardian Alarm, your local security experts. Tell them Big D Energy. We sent ya.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
Big Boy Strawberry Fest has officially arrived, and we're here to show you the very best flavors of the season. Satisfy your sweet tooth with our deep-fried vanilla Oreos, strawberry hot fudge cake, and a slice of our classic strawberry pie. But that's not all. Cool off on a refreshing summer splash salad, or savor the flavors of our chicken Caesar wrap and strawberry bacon chicken wrap. And for breakfast lovers, don't miss out on our strawberry hotcakes or our mouth-watering red velvet waffle. Strawberry Fest is something for everyone. Celebrate the sweet season with us at Big Boy.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal, Ruhl, Darren, McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter here with you. Just kind of wrapping up this Michigan football discussion. Your mom's favorite skater, not with Brian Kelly. What did he win at Notre Dame? He got him in 2 of the last 7 college football playoffs at Notre Dame. But you don't need you. If you know, you know. Look at that man's resume. Wherever he goes, he wins, all the way back to Grand Valley. It's just the way it works out with him. And nobody expected what he did at LSU this year. And just wait. Just wait. I'm not being obtuse here, right?
No, Brian Kelly's a good coach.
Like, do you fear them?
LSU?
Do you fear LSU?
Yeah, I think LSU's going to be really good this year.
5 years, national title, I'm calling it. Think that's a crazy take?
No. 5 years, absolutely not. Fair.
All right. There you go. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Spencer Rattler is a bozo, so there's that out there as well. Spencer Rattler's Dollar General, Baker Mayfield. That's what I'm telling you. If he goes in the first round, dude,
yeah,
greatest comeback story.
I don't think he will.
Ever.
I think there's no way.
Alex Merrill, yeah, and he never won shiz. He's done everything Jim Harbaugh has done at Michigan and more at Notre Dame.
Oh, I mean, sure, yeah. Brian Kelly's a damn good coach. When you look at resumes of college football coaches, I think Brian Kelly and Jim Harbaugh are pretty even.
Yeah.
I would say so.
I would say so, too.
Yeah.
Family.
Yeah. Roll Tide not looking forward to LSU being good. See, even they know. The Alabama fans, they know. If you know, you know. And I think that people do know about what's going on with Brian Kelly and LSU. Real quick, I did want to touch on this because I keep hearing about it. I want to go back to the Lions just for a minute. I'm going to save the Red Wing stuff for tomorrow, D-Mac. Is that cool with you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I'm going to save it for tomorrow. So, Tammy Chan, if you're listening, tomorrow's your time to shine in the second hour.
Yep.
D-Mac's going to deep dive the prospects. I need to know who's going to be here. Like, let's cut the shit. Who's going to be here? How are we getting to the playoffs?
Stick again, Tammy. Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay, though.
It's okay. She's very understanding.
She is, absolutely.
Have a good lunch.
Yeah.
She said she's here.
Brandon Katz, Harbaugh's record against ranked teams is still bad. No, it's laughable bad. There is no doubt about that. But this here, D-Mac, Sam Laporta taking the vast majority of the first team reps, the talk, and I struggle with this. I have to balance this. And that's why I like that we have our community, because you guys can kind of all check me on these kinds of things. Everybody's saying the right stuff about him. You keep hearing him being discussed, but D-Mac, he's not coming off the field. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I know that there are some at this network that might have some unrealistic expectations. I know that I got a lot of questions when they drafted him because he's from Iowa, but I did cut a pass because it was second round and not first round.
And it was an Iowa tight end.
And it was an Iowa tight end. All those things. But D-Mac, should I allow myself to fall for that again or no?
Fall for
the T.J. Hawkinson, rope-a-dope.
No, I think it's different, though. I think it's different.
Because the expectations are different, right?
Well, they are. And also, too, I think it's because we've seen how Ben Johnson utilizes the tight end position after we lost Hawkinson. So I think they need more of this. Like, this tells me more of the security blanket and more the fact that these are guys given opportunities and they're embracing these opportunities. I don't think it's like the hype machine is getting overfilled. I think he's filling the hype machine. Right? His play, right? We're talking about Amon-Ra St. Brown and everything he did yesterday and all this stuff. That's Amon-Ra St. Brown things, work ethic and stuff. Well, I think talent level and what Sam Laporta, he's just going out and letting his actions speak for himself. And what we heard would be on the field and everything that we said is fitting in here. He's as important as anybody on the offense to me to give that extra security blanket to Jared Goff. He's already got Amon-Ra St. Brown. And if you take care of the middle like that, we've seen what tight ends can do across this league, some of the great tight ends. So I just think he's going out there and embracing it, because what happened after Hawkinson left last year? It was tight end by committee. So all the great teams with the great tight ends, the Kelsey, the Andrews, whoever else, this is why it's so important. And I think it's not too much for this guy. I think the fact that he comes from Iowa, where it's sort of tight end he's in the process. This is just part of the process. And the communication he has with some of those guys that are some of the best tight ends in the league too, there's a fraternity there. So I think that this is more to me of, oh yeah, I sort of expected it. And and it's different than T.J. Hawkinson, because you're hearing it different. It's not, you're not getting it thrown down your throat like, oh, here's the man, here's the guy, here's the dude. It's like, no, he just keeps going out there and proving it and taking first team snaps and just executing. There's no talk, it's just action.
It all it does to me too is reinforce. Like, I know we say, and I've said this before, how if I were a player, and I would imagine some of this went through your mind, like the night you got drafted, where, yes, it's great to be drafted, 1 overall, 2 overall, whatever, first round pick, second round pick, whatever. Once you're drafted and like that euphoria wears off, now you're in the league. Now it doesn't matter where you got drafted, because now you're in the league. I mean, it matters, but it doesn't matter, right? You're in. But it matters. Where you get drafted, especially in the NFL, it matters. The perception matters. I have this totally different vibe about Laporta than I did about T.J. Hawkinson, as far as expectations go. Because when you're taken in the top 10 or 12 or wherever Hawkinson got selected, when you're the first tight end off the board, I expect you to be mercurial at the position. Because why else would you take it?
That means very good.
Yeah, I expect that. When they take Laporta in the second round, I'll let it breathe.
You give him some grace.
Yeah.
Where in reality, you should give both the guys the same grace, but that's
not the way it works.
Nope, not the way it works. So, again, perfect situation because the expectations and the pressure aren't on him. It's just he's got to go out and play, and I think that we're seeing that because what do we hear through OTAs and everything else? We've heard his name come up. We heard his name come up. We heard his name come up in more of a execution way than it is more of a game plan way.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. David Mentier says, Neal, can we see the Iowa Fiesta Bowl shirt again before the season? It was a Citrus Bowl shirt, but yes, the week we do college football, I will wear college football shirts for a week.
Hell yeah.
A week straight. We got San Jose State's in the rotation. You know Hawaii will make an appearance. The Iowa will make an appearance as well. I have a West Virginia one that was sent to me from a friend.
You got them on the Rhoda.
Yeah, it's not West Virginia. It's a West Virginia shirt, but it says "Eat Shit Pitt."
Nice.
So maybe I'll bust that one out. We'll see. You know, college football, man. I know people say they feel differently about it, but when the ball's kicked in the air, when it's week 0, when it's Friday night, you're going to be watching the dumbest ass college football game.
Corey Berry makes a good point. You should get a Chicago Dental School shirt.
Oh, I wonder if they have them.
They got them somewhere for sure. I'm going to look it up right now.
Spenmo's going to look that one up. So, yeah, maybe we can make an appearance with it. Hey, when we come back, last segment of the show, Ask BDE. A question for, I want to run this. Anybody in this room, any questions you got for anybody? D-Mac about hockey. I know who's going to get all the questions. Sam Flannel about, where he gets his opinions from. Spenmo Raxter about being an elite high school athlete, swimmer, by the way. Whatever y'all got.
It's true.
Send it here. Ask Big D Energy in the chat. Last segment of the show, we're going to do it. Sports Marketing Agency. They spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their new podcast is called This is the S Word, helps address the stigma associated with seeking help. If you're struggling or some of you know is struggling, go to thesportsma.com. Thesportsma.com, the sports marketing agency. They're here to help.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Neal Ruhl here for 5 Iron Golf. Think you can play some golf? Think you can be a professional athlete? It's a Woodward Sports Thursday Night Golf League live at 5 Iron Golf for 12 consecutive weeks, featuring some of the most famous courses from around the world, played on a state-of-the-art TrackMan simulator in 5 Iron Golf's new 25,000 square foot facility in the D. That's right, in downtown Detroit. Can you beat Darren McCarty at hole number 12 at Augusta? Probably not. What about outperforming Braylon Edwards on hole number 8 at Pebble Beach? Do you have what it takes? If so, register for your chance to win a free foursome today. Yes, a free foursome at 5 Iron Golf. Well, Neal, how can I do that? Well, just follow 5 Iron Golf on Twitter and Instagram before August 1st. So you got a couple days here to do it. Direct message them the word golf. Just follow 5 Iron Golf on Twitter and Instagram before August 1st and DM the word golf, and you're entered. And if you're the winner, they will reach out to you. It's 5 Iron Golf live in downtown Detroit. Final segment of the show, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter here with you. Andrew Schmidt, college football is the best. I will watch any game that's on. I am too. I'm the same. All right, we open it up to questions for Big D Energy. Anything you want to know. Let's go Red Wing Sparty. I got a free Chicago Dental School football shirt when I purchased War Bonds. Hey, you heeded the call of your nation. It was World War I believe, as a matter of fact. Let me see. Tammy Chin, Darren, what can we expect tomorrow night on Combat 1?
Carnage. I mean, go look at it. Midwest Scum versus Devon Dudley. Midwest Scum, Darren McCarty versus Devon Dudley and his son's TNT. He's bringing the tables. I mean, go look online. I mean, he's already chirping me. I learned from his brother, Bubba, so I'll have the utmost respect. But it's going to be a great show, a lot of great matches. So, carnage. That's what we're going to expect.
Steve Wild says, question, what specific prospects will the Tigers obtain at the trade deadline? Steve, that depends on who they trade with. The Dodgers farm system's a little bit different than most. So you're not going to get the pulls from the Dodgers farm system that you're going to get. So, if the Dodgers are one of those teams that wants to add the starting pitching, is it Michael Lorenzen's a Southern California guy too, I think, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, LA Angels may be in the mix. I know what you want, Steve Wilds. I know what people want. They want a, quote, major league ready second baseman and outfielding prospect. You're not getting those with Erod or Michael Lorenzen. I'm sorry, you're just not. If you told me they got a top 10 and a top 15 prospect for each of them, that's a big dub to me, depending on the position that they play. Jack Harrington asked Spenmo, how would you party so much and still stay so calm and cool? It's probably because you're hungover and you can't move, right?
Yeah, it's drink a lot of water, all in moderation. It's a good time. Lots of practice.
That's right. Battle scars.
Mm-hmm.
Chuck Brewer, what is Sam's go-to website for stats?
I mean, Sports Reference probably.
Sports Reference is good.
Yeah, that's probably, and sometimes StatHead, stuff like that. But yeah, just pretty much anywhere you can find it. But I normally go to Sports Reference.
Jack Harrington asked Neal, can you not use your get right pick on FSU versus Clemson? I need to defeat Gabby. No, there won't be a get right that presents itself in FSU Clemson. Two teams that have to answer a lot of questions. Steve Reiner, Tigers will end up with Jonathan India. We will trade Matt Manning or Reese Olson. They're not giving Jonathan India for who? For Erod? They're not doing that, man.
Hey, real quick.
Yes.
Riley Green. Seen enough?
Yes. He's here.
So we got one.
All right. There's one. There's one.
Dude, you got Chernobyl nuked, right? You finally got a plant that you could see that there is some foliage that you finally popped a seed. Scott Harris has popped a seed. Now he's going next level and messing with the feeds and all the pitch counts and all this stuff to help his team out. But you've sprouted something. So there's something there, right? To whatever else. Enjoy it. Embrace it. It's still the journey. Did we not say this is a 7 to 10 year plan the way that it's going right now?
No, absolutely. I just hope that it's not a singular flower in a concrete.
Right. Hopefully
jungle.
Others start popping.
Yes.
I'd love to ask you the same question, in a few weeks or a month about Torque.
I hope so too, but I need him to play well and then not be 3 for his next 40.
I get it.
Which has been the track
You haven't
record.
seen it. When I say Riley
but
Green
he's got
eyeball,
time.
you say yeah. And I say Torkelson
Torque's
eyeball,
got
you
time.
say no.
Torque's got time. His minor league stay was very short. Very short.
That's all I'm saying is that you finally popped one.
Yeah, finally. David Mentier, ask Big D Energy, Lafayette or American Coney?
Lafayette. Which one doesn't have the rats?
American.
That doesn't have the rats?
Doesn't have the rats.
Okay.
Lafayette's better, though.
Well, they got a little extra stuff
even with
in
the
it.
rats, yeah.
Sweeter onions, too, at Lafayette. If there's... All right, let me answer this conditionally. If there's no line at both, I'm going to go to Lafayette. If there's a line at Lafayette and Americans walk right up, I'm going to go to American. Because if I'm there, I'm probably in a certain condition where I'm not going to be breaking down the flavor of the onions. Is that fair?
That's fair.
Okay. Absolutely. Philip C. Spenmo, how much weight have you lost?
I'm down 25 pounds.
There you go.
Yep.
The people notice, man. The people notice. What's been the biggest thing?
Running. Yeah, I do a half hour on the treadmill every day and then my workout, whatever it is.
There you go. It's pretty simple, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Evan Schultz, this is a critical question, D-Mac. When is Spenny going to... How much weight have you lost? 25 pounds. Next question. Spenny, when are you going to do the 999 challenge at the Tigers game? We got to figure that out.
Yeah, we got to get that in stone.
Start looking.
Could be... Yeah, it's got to be a weekend, right?
Yeah, it's got to be.
Yeah.
All right. I'll take the lead on that. We'll figure it out.
My top 5 wrestlers all time, any company, Stone Cold's number 1.
Yeah.
So
I say The Rock.
Then that's cool.
Triple
You
H
can
is
say whatever you
Triple
want.
H is up there for me.
I'm not as big of a Triple H guy as everybody else is.
See, Stone Cold's the end all be all.
Yeah, Stone Cold's number 1 for me too, for sure. But Triple H is probably 2.
CJ Matt, a follow-up question. So will the show be called the Woodward Lightweights?
Middleweights.
Cruise
flyweight.
Light heavyweights.
Yeah, light heavyweights.
Light heavyweight. There we go.
There we go. That works.
The Woodward Light Heavyweights. What is each of your favorites drop used on the show?
We have drops? I like all the music ones.
You say put your clock in my mouth.
Oh, well, that one, that's that's more business. Though.
Yeah.
Get your clock out of my mouth.
Yeah, mine is yesterday's price is not today's price.
That's a good one. The I'm delivered one. I don't think we use that on this show, but we use that on heavyweights a lot.
Yeah, that is a good one. However, none of them compare.
Us.
They all pale in comparison to Rick Ross.
Yeah, that's fair.
Show us.
That is. Where are we going to see?
Oh man, I love it. And just like that, we're done. We did it, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow on Thursday. So that's it. That's all. Good show. Appreciate you all for tapping in. For D-Mac, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter, my name's Neal Ruhl. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Well, see you later.